Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, but not loud enough. Louder. Hello, hello. Test one, two, three. I think it could still be louder, no? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I think that's good, right? Okay. Soll ich jetzt hier switchen oder was? All right. Hello, everyone. It's a huge crowd. Yeah, welcome to dispatch number 3. And this is, yeah, no, I'm going to do that later. So we got a lovely program of technically 4 speakers. It's just 3 right now. And we're going to be, we're going to start with Paulina, who is coming all the way from Zurich. And she's going to show us her event, like that she did in Zurich, right? Called Unsorted. It's not in Zurich. All right. Well, I think you should just introduce it yourself. But yeah, I think without further ado, we can just get right into it. And yeah, let's go.
Pause mode. All right. Okay, so hi. I hope you can hear me. Can I? Can I hear myself? Yes, I can. So, hi. Today I'm going to talk about an event I organized in January this year, called Unsorted Realities. And it was not in Zurich, it was actually in Neuhausen am Rheinfall, which is a very tiny town close to the biggest waterfall. I think the waterfall with the like the biggest amount of water flowing through, called Rheinfall. And there is this crazy 360-degree space that is just pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I want to show some pictures so you can actually have in mind or kind of realize and see how it looks like. But before I get there, I want to show you how it even started and how we actually managed to do that thing. So myself, oops, sorry, kind of have to go all the way to the front. So yeah, I've been working with Touch Designer since about 5 years now. I started to work with it at the previous company where my colleague kind of encouraged me to start using it. And I remember the first time I opened it and closed it immediately after. And uninstalled it. Then it took maybe 6 months that I actually had to use it for a project. And since some time now, a little bit over a year, I have this space in Zurich called Unsorted. It's a huge space that we are renting temporarily, so we don't really know how long we can stay there. But we are organizing a lot of audiovisual events there, mostly around live coding. So it's maybe a little bit less Touch Designer. I'm the only one in our team that is using Touch Designer as the main tool, and all of the other people are using a lot of live coding software. So we organize quite a lot of events where people just sit and chill and watch and listen to the music. Um, as you can see, it's rather more relaxing than a real rave, but it's also because of the Zurich audience. It's not very party-like, at least not in this kind of context. Yeah, and you see here myself doing also visuals with Touch Designer. I kind of tend to switch between those two environments. Sometimes I do it with Touch Designer, sometimes I do it using P5 Live, depending on the mood and the music. And I also started to organize Touch Designer meetups over there because there is like a growing community in Switzerland, but there is not really a space for people to meet. So since we have this great place, it was actually a nice thing to do it. And we have quite a lot of people coming in for the first event. We had like about 20, 25, and people are coming, giving some talks, doing workshops. So it seems to be like a steady crowd. And on one of those events, I met Jonas. So yeah, just a few things here. We have we're trying to also push a little bit more this approach that people show the screens and show the talks and show their projects, but it's not working so much. So hopefully this is something for the future that we can improve. And in one of those events, I met Jonas, who is working at this 360 place called Reality Art Hall. And he did this crazy project called Don't. Uh, yeah, see, I forgot the name of this project. I'm so sorry, Jonas. Do not feed the musicians. Yes, that's it. So that was the first project in that space that was actually all done using Touch Designer. And actually the idea was that there is this AI band or AI-driven band, but nothing was really made with AI, and it was just a bit of a kind of a critique over the fact that everything is now being done with AI. So there was a lot of interaction with the audience, a lot of interaction with music, with this kind of faked AI interactions, and the visuals were performed all live. And Jonas created this crazy template for that space that I'm going to introduce in a moment and show you. That we in the end also improved together for this event in order to be able to give it to all of the people that participated in this workshop, and also hope that everyone, even having an old computer, can actually run it at least 30 frames per second. So quite a lot of adjustments also. Yeah, pretty much a lot of pixels that we have to handle because there are more than 40 beamers over there in that space. So you really have to deal with like 16,000K resolution if you want to really cover everything: the walls, the screen, the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. And this is this reality art space. Yeah, how it looks like inside. So it's pretty much the only location that we know of Switzerland that has this ability to use this 360 thing. So a few tests from other events. And yeah, so for that event, we had a super guest duo from Geneva called Structurals, and they're also crazy touch designer dudes. If you don't know them, please check them out. So we did some. So I did some promo in touch designer, mostly doing a lot of flyers and presentations and like biographies and all of that. So we really have enough of material in order to get people to this place in the middle of nowhere, because it's not like in Berlin. If you have to travel longer than 30 minutes in Switzerland, people just barely show up. But we had yes. But yeah, we had in the end quite a huge success. So 15 workshop people came in, and I would say more than 100 people showed up, which was super nice. And we had the live DJ doing. We have live DJ and doing music, and Structurals also did a like 1 hour AV show. So they also gave a talk, and then I think the biggest problem was that everyone could only do the visuals for 20 minutes. So yeah, it was like a super rush thing, changing the laptops, changing the cables, sending the NDI signal over. But we solved it by basically placing another computer next to the ones of the participants, where we kind of just streamed the NDA signal, and that went straight to Pixera that was handling all of the beamers. So that was a bit easier in the end to do, and also you really managed to get this resolution kind of steady for everyone to work with. So yeah, I'm going to show you how the whole patch is being built, and what we also know we should improve for the next time. There is another event being planned for January next year. So if you're interested in participating, we hope that you will sign up for it. It's all for free. Second thing. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to change the screen here. Yes. So this is the preview. I think I have to switch maybe now to. Yeah, this is actually the hard part because I cannot really see anything in here. Okay, so this is the patch that we had, and that patch is pretty like giving you quite a lot of different possibilities. So there is a way for you to switch different views in here by being able to for the open file here. Maybe I just switch to my screen, sorry, because it's easier for me to see what I'm doing on the screen afterwards as well. All right. And the resolution is, I guess, okay. So the patch has the ability to like change the different view that you see in here. For us, it was really important that the people actually can see how the visuals are going to look in space. And yes, you see some of the visuals are going to run at around 30 frames, some 60, some 50. And that was in the end when we managed to fix that by being able to just change the resolution aspect. So some of the people actually have to kind of scale the amount of pixels down by half. Some others really handled things pretty easily. That was depending on the scenes that people also did, because in this whole setting you can do first of all some 2D visuals, which were working quite well. But there was also like maybe a little bit less interactivity that was happening when the 2D visuals were in place. So the nice part about this was actually doing the 3D stuff, and the 3D stuff is controlled with any controller. So you can actually fly in the space by being able to use your controller, use the different arrows, and always kind of rotate not really the geometry itself, but look through the camera and kind of move the camera around that space. And that gave us like this nice thing of being able to like really change the visuals in the real time, also adapt different things depending on the speed of a sound. Because the one thing that we didn't really finish making during that event was actually making it in audio reactive. So that will be something to fix for next event. It was just more of the fact that the music and the synchronization between visuals and sound was delayed by about 300 milliseconds. And here on this left side where you see the tempo, you can actually define the amount of milliseconds that the visuals are arriving at. So you kind of basically in a fake way bringing the visual a little bit later or a little bit earlier to the screen, or the music a little bit earlier to the speakers in order to be able to match that with the visuals. But since there are so many participants, we didn't really want to make sure that there was going to be a huge delay. So we kept that for now not really active in that setup. Some other examples of things where you can see how the visuals are looking like depending on the wall, and how they're going to be displayed not only on walls, because there is a way of also doing that thing on a floor. The ceiling option was there, but the quality of the projection in the ceiling is quite bad, so we decided really completely against it, and it was in the end only floor and the walls. Some other examples of the visuals, and in the end it was always nice to give the ability to kind of do the stuff with 3D. What we had in here in the template are also extra post effects. There was a way to first of all color some things if you wanted to do that, or maybe add some extra feedback. I think now maybe it doesn't work. I need to reset it so I can see it in a moment. There were some overlays, and this kind of pose effect thing was done on the second laptop, so we didn't really give the users or the participants the ability to kind of dive into that, and just in order to be able to make sure that they are not really kind of lagging their visual by adding extra effect on it. And of course, also way to always previous things, debug things in 3D in order to see how everything is looking like from a different perspective. And to show you how this whole scene was made, or like how it was prepared, there were quite a lot of 8 screens altogether. Some of the walls were covered just by one projector, where some were covered by many. So we also had to do something that, to be honest, was the first time for me to even look into, which is this quad reprojection happening in Touch Designer, and that is really a pain in the ass to do, especially if you actually have to do quad reprojection for multiple different screens, like here, where one projector is actually covering different walls. So there was quite a lot of calculation going in order to be able to do this pre-projection of the projection for the different walls being covered by the same screen. But in the end, there is this nice tool over here in the palette window in the mapping that can be used as some sort of a starting point for that. And the quad reprojection, for the ones of you that don't know, gives you the ability to kind of make sure that the visual afterwards is going to be really matching the 3D space or the physical space. Because sometimes you have some certain offset, sometimes you really like cut things, or maybe in this case, it's kind of a flat surface, but maybe if you have, I don't know, LED screens, that are not really connected together, you kind of have a gap in the visual, and you also want to make sure that in the physical space is also going to kind of adapt to that. So once we had that figured, it was much easier already to really adapt the visual to that space. So in this whole template, there is like one template for the 3D visual and one template for the 2D visual. So the 2D visuals are working quite. Let me just change the view. Quite easily because I just make sure that this one. Because they just really have this out top at the end, and depending on what kind of out is there. For now, we just set the wall and the floor. Those are going to be the visuals displayed or at those like projection surfaces. And here you're also able to do quite a lot of different effects. And for the 3D templates, we said we are just going to kind of render the geometry. So everything that is happening after the render, like in this case, for example, everything that is going to happen after this rendering node is not really going to be rendered anymore. So the only way of adding here certain post effects was by doing some extra or adding an extra container that already has those post effects applied to it. Like for example, in this case, we had post effect bloom being there, and this is being recognized by the touch designer due to this scene tag. So by adding either the scene post effects or a scene effects, we were able to switch between the different scenes, but also apply extra post effects if needed. Or yeah, some of the participants use it, some others kind of refuse to look into that in the first place. Quite a lot of optimizing went into place. Probe, I guess most of you are familiar with that, is one of the greatest tools in order to be able to see what it's really kind of hogging your space and slowing it down. So that helps us a lot to kind of minimize the issue of having like this huge frame delay. And in the end, there are those two containers that allow you to switch between the 2D scene and 3D render, since they are kind of looked at differently. 2D screen is just basically this long projection. The 3D screen is kind of the visual being in the middle, and in the end, kind of being reprojected on those walls as if the camera was really based in the center of that screen. And what else? Yeah, so those lookups, I just also wanted to show that. So there is actually a interesting bug that we realized when we work on the Windows post effect, because everything is being reproduced here, not really by using replicator this time, because as I guess everyone would have worked with replicators knows that they are kind of being activated and deactivated at any point in stage. So we said we're just going to really do this kind of cloning thing. So instead of actually running the real containers, we're just running their clones. I mean, here for that we use this replicator for the first time, and afterwards it's not really replicating, or it's not really using the initial effects, but it's kind of only adding the clones of that. And there was a bug, maybe you saw in the moment, that there is, maybe I can actually show it on this post effect here, that there is an error, but that error is vanishing the moment I'm actually just kind of diving into this network, and it's not there. And yeah, that was something that we didn't really figure out in the end. I think it really has to do with how Touch Designer is running. in the back, and kind of maybe also our code needs to be delayed by certain frames in order for those effects to take place. So once I just kind of dive in, this is ignored and everything is fine, because studies and I couldn't really find the thing before. So now if I see, I can just really start also playing with the different post effects here, and also add maybe even different overlays. So the overlays were actually nice for us to be able to do something that really felt a little bit more dynamic. And we could change the different colors and kind of have, because everyone did just one to two visuals. So with those extra effects, we had the ability to really be able to create different variations of one scene. And is there anything else that I can? I mean, there is quite a lot of things I can say that. Quite a lot of coding that was definitely necessary in order to make that happen. Maybe also this whole NDI Pixera thing. So in the end, there is an ADI that is going out, and that NDI was first passed to another laptop, and then from that laptop we send the NDI signal to the Pixera. Because it was just much easier to do it that way instead of really having everyone like make sure that everything is set up properly. But now, since everything really took a lot of time to set in that place, the beamers are working very well with the studies in a setting, and we hope to be able to organize more events and also invite some people from Germany to give the AV shows over there. If you, someone maybe there is out there, ever have a similar problem or want to actually look at how we set up this thing, feel free to send me a message. I'm happy to share that template with you to see, maybe you can solve some things without having to go through the same problems that we had to go twice. So I think that's about it from me, since my time is up. Thank you. All right. Yes.
First off, really nice. Good job. How transferable is this to other places actually, or is this very specific for this location?
Um, so I would say that definitely this kind of reprojection of the things and the ability to be able to see to kind of reproject the 3D and the 2D visuals can be kind of readapted to any other location. I think probably this kind of whole handling of the signal, it's a little bit different depending on how the technical setup is kind of being done at a certain place that the visuals are going to be made at. So that was more of a thing that we had to really look at the technician. But everything else is pretty transferable. I think it's just really a matter of time, like of kind of trying to find the right geometry of the space and like knowing exactly where the beamers are placed and how big the space is itself. So there is also one thing maybe that I can show that was also very relevant to that whole template, is this kind of dimensions um, patch that we have. So depending on the different walls, we have here the amount of pixels that each one of it is taking, and that was super like necessary to be able to know that the visuals are gonna really match the like physical aspect. And there is also this ratio. So depending on how images this is scale, this is going to either like scale up your visual to really fill in the full resolution or only half. But I think we kind of noticed that even at even at 8K, so half of the resolution, it was still sharp enough, like for people to be able to really see the fine details. We didn't really go lower than that. No one had to. Like even people working with like old Macs or like Windows computers from no, 10 years ago managed to really get like the 8K resolution. But it depended, of course, sometimes they had to also scale down their scenes. But you see, I'm not even having a Windows now, and it's kind of working fine. So yeah.
All right, thank you. We're gonna take a quick break and then we're off to the next speaker.
glaube,
Und so sind da nicht
wir
so.
machen nächstes Jahr viel mehr, weil, ja, aber ich gehe gleich wieder her, oder? Jetzt ist eine Pause. Ne? Ja, hat Spaß gemacht. Ja. Das zu machen, aber es ist natürlich auch sehr, sehr
Yeah, the
ja,
designed like somehow
yeah, because and the thing is,
On the back.
Jonas hat also sein eigenes Bild vom Bau Dezember letztes Jahr September. Ich glaube, der war schon 600 Euro zu schätzen. Und dafür diesen Januar haben wir so einen Monat haben wir richtig
Because
gepusht.
it's
Und das
showing
wirklich
on the
nochmal
back,
gemacht, um
because
zu
it's
drehen,
showing the
weil
exact
er hatte nämlich auch
position,
noch
so
gemeint, so
you're
hey,
like,
das läuft irgendwie auf das Paint dann
it's
auch,
very
das funktioniert
confusing.
irgendwie auch nicht. Dann habe ich diese Visual gefunden und das war dann so, ja, eben top. Endlich mal dieses haben. Und ich glaube, diesen irgendwie extra Effekt haben wir noch ein bisschen Zeit gebraucht, um das irgendwie zu überdrehen. Genau. Ja, ja, aber jetzt sind wir froh, weil jetzt sind viele ein bisschen mehr Sachen, die wir vorher machen. Das Stamping wird
There
aber
is
wahrscheinlich
the
noch weiter
USB
vergrößert.
is missing
Gucken,
for
wie es
the
aussieht in so einem Office.
clicker.
Right, Felix, goes to this, goes to the thing auf den Boden. Und anscheinend Maps zeigt halt irgendwie den Parking Space weiter unten in der Range.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really big. It was empty like what we had. It's really like crazy placed. Yeah, we had DJ. He was playing here. I mean, for 4 hours. He was working really hard. Um, and I think
I will see it. It's better to see it.
it was all day sort of the workshop during nighttime. No, it was really nighttime.
Huh?
And I think the workshop had like 6 hours first, like the drying and all that, and then we had like 4 hours of design.
I don't know if it's better to handing it because I think I will look at the screen because I have.
Because the problem is when you turn around, then you're
Yeah, I was
off axis and then
hearing
you don't hear
that.
anything.
Okay, yeah, because here
As
it's.
you want, but you can also grab it in if you want.
Mm.
You can also just hold it.
Yeah, maybe because like this you can move a little bit more.
Yeah,
Because also I noticed that if you're not really close, it's not. Mm.
check downstairs if some people are lost.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
we can start.
No, it's but I don't know.
Disconnect.
Was those
This was
disconnected?
just the phone of Peter.
Ah, okay.
Because you went downstairs.
Yes.
Sorry.
Actually, I love it.
Yeah, I love to play. I don't like to. I mean, mouse is nice, but this is just like so much more.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
And
really
I
fun.
forgot to charge it, so I had to. Normally, you just kind of walk.
Wow.
Nice, you don't have to like read the visuals so much. You can always like stay there. You can
Yeah.
just walk around and also have a look and see. And this one is really nice. Yeah, it's like stylized, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's really affordable and works like out of the box and works as like
Great.
you can set up whatever you want. So kind of like you can set it to like PS4 or
Mhm.
Xbox or yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was searching for something like that because playing on the computer and maybe you're using even if now I have this PS4 controller because the PS4 controller you can connect to the computer. No. Okay, but this is only for me. But it was. It seems like you had a lot of fun during this.
Yeah, yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
I think the only darkest part of it is like we didn't kind of do it ourselves.
Uh,
Yeah, now everyone. Yeah, but I think.
I mean, it's always like this that you are planning things, then it's. Oh. I don't know what happened. Okay. That you're planning a lot of things, and then there is the time, and you have to fight with the time. No. This weird thing.
You're right.
That's nice.
I have to switch the screen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, because probably it's. Yeah. It's showing there and I close the presentation here. Yeah, go.
We can check that in a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's coming back. Yeah, we heard that. The Bluetooth was connected. Yeah, I mean, we have to fix something, but okay. So I can start? Okay. Okay, maybe wait for them. Okay. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Martina Chilardi, and uh, I'm here today to talk a little bit about myself and my experience, because I've been a graphic design student, and I have a confession today to do here in front of you, that typography never excited me. Actually, I found it pretty boring. Yeah, so like other people having a lot of fun with it, some other people were struggling a lot like me, and yeah, I struggled for a long time. Then something happened in 2022. I did this class, this subject in Fine Arts Academy in Italy, that basically was uh, creating like some interactive and generative visuals with P5.js, which is like this coding language. And I was planning this project for my exam, and I discovered that there was like the possibility to write a code that was translating images in ASCII art, and it was kind of interesting for me because I'm also a comic book artist. So I decided to develop like a sequence of images, and then develop this code that was translating the images in ASCII art. So basically translating them in the characters from the keyboard of the computer. And then it was very simple project. Basically, people can interact just with the click of the mouse, and they are going next with the sequence, and the characters are mixing, and they are forming the next image. And depending on when you are clicking it, it can have like different effects depending on the time. And then later also I had the sound design part. I worked with white noises, but this is not the point for today. Maybe if you want, I can share with you if you want to try this. This is just a quick render of the result. And yeah, pretty much is this the experience with P5.js. But I think something about this experience stayed with me, like subconsciously, because it was like the first time having fun with something that is kind of related with typography, because it's about characters. And then in 2025, I started actually at the end of 2024, and then in 2025, I realized this installation. I started to work with Touch Designer. I think probably everyone or most of the people here know what it is, but it's like this software, and you can work really with a lot of stuff, 2D, 3D visuals, audio, data, and you can put everything together and like some interactive generative systems. So I started to be pretty much into it, but it was like always also 1 month that I was working with that. But I decided to work on a project for an open call. And I started to develop this installation, which was about gentrification. And it was about my city in Sicily, Siracusa. And at the beginning, I was working only with photos and with this particle system. So basically the photos were translated in particles, and then people were interacting with the camera, and they were shifting these particles, distorting the images, and it was kind of cool, but I was thinking that it was missing something. And in that moment, also while I was working on this project, I had the opportunity to join this workshop that was about lettering, typography, and touch designer. And I started to do some stuff during this week of workshop, and I started to think that maybe this kind of things, like with typography, was what exactly was this project was missing. So I developed also this system that is just silhouettes of people, very geometrical, which is something that is always very catchy for the audience because they are recognizing themselves, having fun. But also I put like some keywords about the topic of the project. And I decided, I was thinking about the language to use because the installation would have been exhibited in Berlin. So I thought, okay, I will use English. But then I was, wait, because this is about myself, it's about my city, my country. So I was, okay, I want also to put Italian, even if like 99% of people will not understand what's it's written, I want to add this. Because also I think my experience during that time in Erasmus started to develop this thinking about how actually languages can be interesting when you cannot understand them. So yeah, basically in the end the installation was this photographic part in particles, then it was shifting to these keywords and silhouette in English, and then sometimes it was shifting in keywords only in Italian. And it was basically my first experience with a project, with an installation, with an exhibition. So I had a lot of fun. I struggled also a little bit, but I think in the end, apart from the project part, the work that I did by myself in my room, the best part was came actually during the exhibition, after the exhibition, when I had the possibility to talk with people that were there. And we were talking about the installation, and they said something that it was pretty shocking for me, but also on the other side, very interesting. Basically, they didn't remember the cool photos with translated in particles. They remembered the words. When we were talking and they were asking about my installation, they were, okay, yes, I know, it's the installation with the words. And I was pretty shocked about it because I thought like the photographic part was the biggest part. But also the biggest revelation was about the Italian. They couldn't read Italian, but they felt it anyway somehow. what happened? There was this timer, so it was switching between English and Italian. So it happened that some people arrived, they looked at the installation while there was only Italian. So they were looking at the words, but they were not understanding what it was written on it. But still, they were saying to me, you know, like the movements, the shapes, the colors that you used, they remind me of something. I had this nostalgic feeling, this this little bit of sadness, and so on and so on. And it was nice, actually, because I was trying to communicate this feeling, but I wasn't thinking that it was possible just with these words. I was relying mostly on the photographic part. And so yeah, I came back after this experience, and it was winter break, so I had a lot of time just to think about what happened. And also it was right before, I mean, I should have even started before, but it was right before working on my research for the diploma thesis. And I was already thinking to do something about graphic design, so the part that I was studying in Italy, and something about touch designer, new media, interaction, generative systems. I want to mix this together, but I wasn't thinking at all about typography. But after this, I was, okay, this is what I will do. I will do something. I will research about how to use typography in new medias, how to use typography with Touch Designer. I want to dive a little bit more into this space. So what happened? I remember that I read this book in the past, this very interesting one by Marshall McLuhan. Medium is the message, is the title itself. Actually, it's the message, because I discovered that there was like this typo in the first edition, and they were, you know what, we are keeping it because it's fun. Yeah, but the concept is medium is the message. And it quite explain everything, but basically what McLuhan was saying is that when you are when you want to communicate something, when you are delivering a message, what is really important, what is shaping the message itself, it's the medium that you are using, the media that you are using. And he wrote this book in 1964, so we are talking about a long time ago, if you're speaking about technology. And so when he was talking about media, new media, he was talking basically about television. But he was saying something that I think is like totally relatable with new medias and what we are doing today, maybe even more, because he was saying that when people are watching TV, actually they are the screen. And I think it's applying to interactive installations, and maybe even more now. But also, I think what is great about this book that I totally recommend to everyone, like creatives that are working with visuals, of course, but like creatives in general, but even just human beings, because it's about communication in the end. And I think like communication, it's one of the most important things in life. So what is it's really interesting. It's that the object itself, the book, especially like this edition by Penguin Edition, it's like it's like the representation of medium is the message, because the book, it's like the composition, the way it's everything it was selected, the typography, like very simple, black and white photos. Every page, it's like something different. It's the best example of this. And after this research about McLuhan, which I think took like almost probably the longest time. Also, I had to do some research about typography. Yay, I like which actually it was funny at some point, because I started to read this book by Spiekerman from the 90s about typography. I will not talk about typography here. Uh, but there was something very interesting that he was saying, because the book, it was written in the 90s, but he was talking about 2020s and saying that there will be like this big turning point about typography, something new in 2020s. So maybe that's why I'm here. I don't know. In my small part, I'm doing something. So after this, it was, I think, the time to put a little bit of practice in this. So I just started to go very free with some simple experimentation with typography and touch designer. Nothing special, because as I said, it was like less than 1 year that I was using touch designer, but I started to have fun. And I wasn't caring at all about how much you can read the text, because that was not the point. Actually, the point is the opposite: how much you cannot read the text, how much you can play with the shapes and the form, everything. And this attempt, it's funny because I reuse like very pretty recently, like few weeks ago I put this in some VJing. So it was funny because actually I was having fun with typography for one time. And then later I started to work a little bit more, putting stuff together, experiment a little bit, checking the stuff that I was learning at university, and also checking some tutorials, which I think are like vital when you're starting. And thanks to everyone that is like putting tutorial online, because it's very important. So in the end, I didn't have like a lot of space to present the work, so I decided to have fun, play, and then put everything together in a nice composition. It was audio reactive, it was also reactive with the camera. So after the discussion part, people were playing a little bit with it. And in the end, as you can see, there is nothing that is really readable. But as I was saying, this is not the important part. The important part is that I hope you can see that I was having a lot of fun, that for the first time, consciously, I was having fun with typography, with something that it was not so exciting for me. And also another thing is that while in Berlin I used Italian and English. While I was planning this, I was, okay, I cannot use Italian because I will discuss in Italy, so everyone can understand. I cannot use English because it's too easy. A lot of people are speaking English. I want to go with something that nobody can understand. Maybe not nobody, but not a lot of people in the room. Like here, no one, I guess. I decided to go back to my roots, which is something that in the end, I'm always doing with my project somehow, even when it's not related. And I picked Sicilian, which is not only dialect, actually it's language itself, because we have literature, we have the proper grammar and so on. But again, I'm not here to talk about Sicilian, but maybe, yeah, I will do some advertisement about Sicilian and Sicily while I'm here. And so yeah, in the end, I put everything together. I had a lot of fun with something that was pretty boring at the beginning for me. And I can also say right now that still I think I'm not using typography all the time, because still I like to do other stuff. But in some recent projects, I found actually that I was putting still typography, and I was still having this tendency of playing with the language, understanding, not understanding, because I was doing this installation for a museum night in Poland, and there was like this there were some visuals, but also there was like this counting for the time, so milliseconds, second, hours, and also counting people that were interacting with the installation. And I put everything in English because right now I'm speaking English. I don't speak a lot of Polish. And my friend who was helping me with the setup was asking me, maybe do you want to translate everything in Polish so it can be more understandable for people? And I was actually, no, I want to keep it in English because I think I want to play again with this thing. Maybe people will not understand, but still you are watching, you are seeing this number going, and maybe you are imagining this, maybe you are grasping the what they are counting, but still I think it's it's still going on. But in the end, the reason why I decided to present this research, it was obviously because I want to present my work, but also because I want to have the possibility to share this thinking about this boring tool, how to use them in practice, in our practice, how to find a way to feel them in a different way. If you maybe had the possibility, if it happened to you, maybe you are not working even with visual, you're working with some other stuff. But I think maybe it happened, or maybe you have some suggestion about something else that it's boring, or it's something that we are using every day and we are not even caring about, and we can find a new way to play with them, to make them fun again. And also like the other thought was about who is making what are you making, and who is completing it. So it's about my experience with the audience while I was exhibiting. This is what happened. I was making something, I was making this installation, and I was thinking only about the visuals, only about the technical part, but in the end, who really completes the project was the audience and the feedback that I received from them. So I hope that this is something, I think this is something that it's happening to everyone, and I think it's nice to share this kind of experience. And that's it.
I'm electric somehow. I don't know. Electronaut. Yeah, thank you so much. I love that you came up here talking about typography, and the first thing is that you say that you don't actually like typography. I feel that we had it a lot in design university, and I really didn't enjoy it much. But actually, it's really cool what you can do with it, and I feel like it's underappreciated in Touch Designer. There's not that many people doing it in Touch, because it's also not that easy in Touch Designer. Like even the text top is just actually awful. But now, like with pops and 3D, I think that could be really interesting. So it's one of the many things on my list I would love to get into more. But yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, let's take another little break, and I think then we're gonna just go over to yours, because the other speaker has disappeared. I don't know. Oh yeah, little break, and then we'll get back to that. Thank you. So you got a lot of time now. I mean, ich dachte auch schon, ich kann auch mein Tool noch. Oh, because the speaker before disappeared.
It just
I don't know where
disappeared,
she
right?
is.
But she confirmed.
Huh?
She confirmed the last
Yeah,
time.
like actually this afternoon she confirmed.
Oh,
That she's
hopefully she's
goes up, then she can go at last. Or?
Sure, but should have been here at 6.
Yeah. Okay.
2 hours.
Yeah, hopefully she's fine.
It's just the plug in between.
Okay, is this shit running? Yes.
Nicht auf jeden Fall letztes Jahr. Ja, auf jeden Fall auch schon. Echt? Nee, war noch offen und hinten hatte ich auch was reingemacht. Also.
I think the seat is there.
Nice trade.
And now, okay, so I will finish the presentation as fast as I can.
We have a lot of time.
Yeah, but I don't want to bore you to death. Like,
no, but now it's perfect because now you can do this and that and see everything.
yeah. And when I finish, I will move the table over so that I can pull
You
out
will
this.
remove the table?
Yes, just to move it like around there. Because is it possible or no?
With all the cables. It's better be on the floor?
I wanted to do it on the floor. Do you think it's better here?
I think because of the camera it's better on the table. With the camera.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know, we should ask her.
Okay.
No, no, no. I just like explain. Yes, just explain because a little bit different, so you can like. Where? In the morning. Yeah, just like it's the same. She wants to make special things because everything will be
Very expensive though.
yes. What's our flexibility because we still work with people. So if you do this house with with the glass how do I do it? Clearing glasses.
Yeah, can you put it in?
Yeah, I want the glasses because now we can use everything. Yeah, use everything. Because
Ja, ja, weil der gerade so
yeah,
cheap ist.
it was so cheap. Yeah, actually I will choose the outside one, but it's inside because of the fabric and also that I can use it there. Yeah. You want some? Yeah, yeah. And what's the second interesting? What do you think? Yes, yeah, it could be. No, but there's this hinge. Yes, the second to the polish one is okay. So here. So that's pretty much the only reason why you want to
Ja,
refuse
wir
that.
haben ja.
So what colors are you thinking? I wasn't expecting it actually. Because I was thinking how do you like no no
Aber ändert
wait.
sich
I
jetzt.
just remove the blue area. I just
Ja, was machst du
kept
jetzt noch?
nothing because just to leave everything blue. And there was this one. This was in Warsaw and I just kept
Soll ich
a
die
big
brauchen?
one because I was like
Okay.
Felix, about the table, like, is it still a good idea to move the tables? Because William said no. Is it okay?
He'll
Okay.
can show the video, yes, that I will turn on with the sensor. Hi. Working now. Amazing. Wait, I think I have to grab this. Yeah, much better. Okay. So, hi. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you to Pixel.forest for inviting me tonight. I'm very excited about this. I'm gonna give a quick overview of what I'm gonna do tonight. And first of all, I wanna give a short introduction, then I will talk a little bit about me and about my artistic practice that I decided to call like visual and spiritual. And then I will go deeper into the installation that I will be sharing tonight. And for this chapter, I called it Migration Through the Obsidian Mirror, Tezcatlipoca, Coatlicue, Identidad de Humo. Identidad de Humo is the name of the installation, Identity of Smoke in English. And then to finalize, I will do the live activation of the installation. So, my name is Alejandra Montoya. I come from a place that is called Cuautitlán Izcalli, and it's in the metropolitan area of Mexico City, that is this grayish part. So if we are being like very strict about borders, so Mexico City finishes here, but the metropolitan area is way bigger, so I lived there. This is just a fact I am sharing. And also because the name, I want to come to there, like the name Cuautitlán Izcalli comes from the Nahuatl language, which is an indigenous language from Mexico, from the central part of Mexico, and the meaning is your house among trees. This is just an intro to something else. Just remember. Okay, my background is in photography and in fine arts, and I finally focused on time-based media that englobes most things that I love. Then in my practice, visually, I will talk first about the visual. In my practice, I like to really manipulate the image, and I come also from photography, so it ended up being collage, like showing like video collage, and then grabbing some found footage, and then to making some compositions. And since a year ago, I started with Touch Designer.
and I have been doing more live performances, like DJing. I've done installations. I like to do like multiple channel installations, and here in this project I mixed like more of a filmy look with something more abstract, and that could help me. Like I don't have, like, what I've noticed is that when I want to make or create an image, I just grab the elements, like wherever they might come. Like it can be a photo, it can be a graphic, it can be a video that I see, or a picture that I take, or nowadays from Touch Designer, and I just mix them all together, and I just love how it looks. And then my visual practice is nourished by my spiritual practice that I started not so long ago in 2020. And with my spiritual practice, I mean, like, I got like closer to. Okay, 2020 was COVID, right? So it was like the end of the world back then. And I started with a tarot deck that came first to my hands. And this tool, like it's a tool. Like I discovered that it was more like a mirror, like to have a tarot deck. Like that's how I see my tarot practice. That every time that I ask something to the card, it has a meaning that it comes in a book, but actually the meaning that it gives you is what you see in it. So it's actually like a dialogue with yourself, like a monologue. So what you see on the card is what you already know, kind of, but it kind of opens ways. It's kind of like, for me, it opens ways. And this, the tarot helped me a lot to get more in connection with myself and what I wanted, what my own interests. And also the symbolic out of it, like the visual part of it, it's like super exciting, like very mystical, and it has like a lot of depth. That there are so many symbols that it just grabbed me. And also, okay, from there, that's enough. And then I want to talk about my latest project, that is Identidad de Humo. And in this project, I think I mixed, or it comes from these two things, no? Like from mixing things together, mixing visuals together with my spiritual practice. And I got closer, like the years passed, and I got closer more to my roots, to where I come from Cuautitlán Izcalli. That means, that comes from another language that is not Spanish. It's called Nahuatl. And Nahuatl was spoken by the what is commonly known Aztecs, but it's actually called Mexicas. And the Mexica believes in more than gods. I mean, gods and goddesses. It's also like a Western concept that in the Mexica culture it has another meaning. So Tezcatlipoca is kind of like, would be like one of the main gods. There are like, I mean, 2. And then 4, like they are kind of divided. And then these gods that are more than gods or goddesses are like concepts of reality or matter, or like things that always happen. For example, Tezcatlipoca means, the meaning of the word is smoking mirror. Tezcatlipoca means a smoking mirror. And it tells about the transformation in everything, like in all, like the transformation itself, like from life to death, or like, I don't know, like when an apple is getting rotten, that's Tezcatlipoca happening at the moment. Or and it says like this, also this concept, Tezcatlipoca, like everything is in constant transformation. This is the representation of Tezcatlipoca from the Mexicas. And Tezcatlipoca, this is an obsidian mirror. Like it has its obsidian mirror, because it was the tool that this is the obsidian mirror that I have. This is in my altar. To see yourself in the mirror, It's I mean, by meditating and seeing yourself in the mirror, like you can see that there is more than what you see at certain point. Like while seeing yourself like longer in the mirror, you start losing your identity, or you start seeing way beyond, or you go inwards, but you're still seeing something. And this is what Tezcatlipoca tells or teaches. And there is, I learned an obsidian mirror meditation, and I did some meditation exercises, and I started to think about identity and how identity is actually something that you embody, that it's kind of like a persona. Okay, that was Tezcatlipoca. Now I go to Coatlicue, that is also part of my altar. So I am just very drawn to the image of this sculpture. And in Identidad de Humo, I tell about this sculpture. I tell about the history during the colonial time in Mexico, which is 1790, and how it was found and it was reburied several times out of fear, like from the Spanish colony back then, out of fear for the Mexica culture to be revived. I won't tell much about that. I will leave that to the video because I will share with you the video in a moment. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it was found, and then years after it was put down beneath the earth again, and then it was taken out again, put beneath the earth again, taken out again. But it was never destroyed, which is very special for me. Like, this is why it got my attention. Yeah. Okay, so then this is the mood board. I want to share the mood board. I started with Touch Designer a year ago, and I got more into Arduino, and I super basic. Like, I don't do much, not much spectacular. But what I really loved about the flame sensor is that, like, this is a flame sensor, is that I could finally join to my both things, like to turn on the candle, you know, and then something could happen. And for me, that's kind of magic, like to turn on fire and then the video would start or anything would start. And that this input, it's that was actually the last piece for this whole thing that I've been working on. It was a 2-year project. And then I come Identidad de Humo, and for here I use collage, I use projection. This is myself, or the image that I have been given. My embodied identity led me to self-portrait, and then transformation. This is where Tezcatlipoca comes in, and then the ritual, and then towards what in the end I believe is healing. I don't know where it's gonna leave me, but that's what I think. Yeah, now I will proceed to the activation, I think. Yeah, thank you. Yes, with the video. I will move some things around, so wait.
Hay cuerpos que insisten en desaparecer. Hay cuerpos que insisten en desaparecer. No pueden permanecer visibles. Los abuelos enterraron tu imagen antes de que los invasores te vieran, haciendo de la tierra tu custodia. En 1790 te encontraron a poca profundidad de la tierra. Tu imagen incomodó al colonizador al confrontar su entendimiento del mundo. 2 cabezas, serpiente. En 1792 se sugirió que los monumentos prehispánicos eran escritura, que el conocimiento se registraba en piedra y en madera. Pero ¿qué pasa cuando la imagen es leída por ojos incapaces de asimilar aquello que nos separa lo sagrado de lo monstruoso? Llevo un ratote buscándote, Coatlicue, y ahora te veo con 2 cabezas, serpiente. En 1804, los visitantes te buscaban a ti, ignorando los monumentos europeos presentes. Las autoridades coloniales ordenaron ocultarte de la vista, enterrándote, como si el conocimiento hay cuerpos que insisten. Hay cuerpos que insisten en desaparecer. No pueden permanecer visibles. Los abuelos enterraron tu imagen antes de que los invasores te vieran. Hay cuerpos que insisten en desaparecer. No pueden permanecer visibles. Los abuelos enterraron tu imagen antes de que los invasores te vieran, haciendo de la tierra tu custodia. En 1790 te encontraron a poca profundidad de la tierra. Tu imagen incomodó al colonizador al confrontar su entendimiento del mundo. Dos cabezas, serpiente. En 1792 se sugirió que los monumentos prehispánicos eran escritura, que el conocimiento se registraba en piedra y en madera. Pero ¿qué pasa cuando la imagen es leída por ojos incapaces de asimilar aquello que nos separa lo sagrado de lo monstruoso? Hay cuerpos que insisten en desaparecer. No pueden permanecer visibles.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. This is what it's not supposed to look like. It just happens like, I don't know. I just tested it before. It was fine. Don't know what happened. But that's how it is. I think, yeah, my computer needs a complete restart now. Thank you.
So fast. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. I think I'm gonna just finish, and then we can let it run a bit here, maybe. Am I on camera, Felix? Okay. Yeah, there's one speaker missing. Apparently, she thought that she's gonna do it from Austria, not here. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. Super, super interesting. I mean, yeah, it is, and I would love to see the whole thing. As I said, I really love that it actually flickered between that and the flame, because it really like felt that it's, yeah, organically looking at the flame really felt like a flame, so that's cool. Yeah, so yeah, I know. Welcome, by the way. We're actually already at the end. But yeah, we can hang around a bit and chat. But yeah, as you can see, there's also not too many people. And actually, this is also going to be the last time that we do anything here, because we actually have to, or we decided to move out of this space, and we don't really have a space yet where we're going to go. So for now, pixel.forest is just going to be, we want to keep on doing these kind of events, just at other places actually. So there's probably going to be one in July. But yeah, just follow us on social media just to get updated with that. But this is definitely the last time that we're going to do anything here in this space. And then maybe in the future, in the near future, we're going to find another space. Let's see. but maybe we also just continue as sort of an event series and workshop and stuff like that. Yeah, Felix, is there anything I should add? No, I think we're good and we can end the stream. And yeah, then maybe we can let this run one more time and then we can hang around and chat. You can get a drink. And yeah, thanks so much for coming and presenting. All right.